All right, so we're ready to go. The referral marketing upgrade. Let me share my screen to keep on track, and we will get the party started here. All right, let's get after it. So this is referral marketing upgrade. Achieve sustained growth in your real estate business by upgrading your marketing, your referral marketing system. You'll hear me talk a lot about systems today. If you have not grabbed a free copy of the database marketing workbook, this is a 29-page step-by-step guide to resetting and maximizing your database. I mean, step by step. All the tools are included, all the questions you need to ask yourself, all the activities you should be doing, the tracking to take your business as far as referrals go to the next level. So just comment database upgrade wherever you are consuming this training. So the thought-provoking question for the week is, how am I thinking about my business in terms of my ability to scale solely based on the service I provide and the people I know, right? So your database, and your database includes current clients. So your ability to scale solely based on people that know you. If you couldn't buy leads, if you couldn't do all the things that the industry is trying to get us to do. So the reason this matters is that, and I covered this a little bit last week rather, the shift storm is here in a few ways. Generally speaking, real estate agents do not provide the best service. They do not show up as professionals. This is a great thing for those of us that do. I realized this early on in my career that real estate agents are a dime a dozen, and most of them aren't true pros. So that's one thing that's shifting. The other part is that, and this has been a long time coming, is but we don't have any friends in real estate. Everyone's after our commission check, right? The big lead providers, aggregators, the listing referral fees, the ideal agents and home lights and Zillow and all those guys, right? They are out to get us. They're not protecting our best interests. Even if you can make those lead sources work, they're generally not out. They're generally out to get us. And I think as far as that goes, us handing over as much of our commission checks as they dictate, I think enough is enough. And I think you have to draw the line in the sand that you're going to do things differently. And there are some really cool, potentially business threatening technology advancements. If you haven't been tracking on AI, I generally ignore these kinds of things. And it's really hard to do anymore. Chat GPT. I saw a video yesterday, a guy that I follow challenged his team to replace themselves with AI in less than 7 days. And mostly they replaced, I think it was like 80 to 90% of what they do in normal sort of button clicking. They figured out how to replace themselves with AI, which is crazy. So that is a shift that's happening, whether you like it or not. And the market is always shifting, right? So it's like riding a wave. We are on the tail end, and the market has shifted, right? A little bit of a rebound here recently, but I don't think we're out of the woods yet by any means. I think we're on like a 10-year, 12-year run here in terms of the economic cycle. So we're definitely riding a wave. It's always shifting. So expect that. And the other shift is that I think, just as far as business goes, and I gave this quote last week, but if you missed it, we're living in what, this is from the book, Thank You Economy, Gary Vee. I don't love everything about Gary Vee in terms of his sort of hustle grind mentality, but this book was amazing. Really hit me over the head in a good way. We're living in what I like to call the thank you economy, because only the companies that can figure out how to mind their manners in a very old-fashioned way and do it authentically are going to have a prayer of competing. And when it comes to the referral marketing upgrade, that's what this is all about. Running your business in a way where the natural byproduct of anyone coming into contact with you, whether they're a vendor or someone that maybe doesn't use you directly, but the byproduct is they're going to do good things for your business. They're going to bring people in your business that will transact. And I think you have to make a decision. I think the decision is to be the black sheep in the industry. When everyone's turning toward all the things that the industry wants us to do, you need to be the one turning away in terms of how you operate your business and how you generate new business and create this sort of virtuous cycle that we'll talk about today. So in terms of what you should know, I think I've only got 3 points for this. The first, though, is that as an industry, well, maybe not as an industry, maybe let them keep doing this, but you need to start telling their story, your client's story. You need to speak about not so much how awesome you are and look at me, I'm number one, and a number, best agent in the neighborhood. That doesn't speak to the needs of the consumer. So you need to tell them their story. We have, I think, like 1,700, almost close to 1,700. I've since exited this business, but High Performance Real Estate Advisors was a business I was involved in. Um, and we initiated this sort of social proof as the catalyst for referrals in our business. And it was all about uh, these folks telling their story and them touting us in their story, right? So you want them to tell the story. So really good book for this is Story Brand by Donald Miller. Talks about the character is the buyer or the seller. The character is not you, right? They have a problem, right? They have to buy a home in a tight market. They need to sell a home in a shifting market. They meet a guide. That's you. You give them a plan, a clear plan. On the buy side, we have a 7-point buyer plan. We have a 7-point listing plan. If you missed those two trainings, the buyer consultation framework and the listing consultation framework, you can find them in whatever ecosystem, whether it's YouTube or our Facebook group, Real Estate Business Builders. You can find those trainings. That's the plan, right? You give them that plan. You call them into action, right? We declare that they're going to work with us and we'll do a great job. And we've got all these benefits and, no risk and cancellation guarantees and all that. It results in, using us is massive success, or if they don't use us, it is imminent failure. So that's kind of the framework that you want to use in your marketing. And that's what we call social proof. I did a full training on it last week. It is everything when it comes to the future of your business. So if you're not focusing on doing a great job, getting folks to say kind words to you, you're not in the game of business as it relates to thriving with all of this shift storm going on. So I'm not going to tell the story again. Actually, I'm going to tell it again. I went to my dentist. This was, I don't even know how many years ago, but it was Ballantine Dentistry, and they were their owners. We were both on the radio together. So we both spent a lot of money on mass media. It worked until it didn't work. And I was checking out of this dentist office, and I was a newer patient. And I was checking out, and the girl checking me out said, "Hey, have you left us a 5-star review yet?" And she grabbed her phone and she sort of gestured to it. I said, "No, I haven't." She said, "Open up a browser." I did. She said, "Click there." I did. She said, "Did you have a 5-star experience?" I said, "I did." I clicked it, wrote some words, and all of a sudden we were off. I was leaving the office, but before I did, I asked her 2 questions. I said, "Hey, listen, why do you think your owners asked you to do that? And then do you get paid to do that?" She was getting paid a bonus to get those reviews. And her owners told her that word of mouth marketing, referrals, was their number one source of business. And when it was coming through social proof. So again, like I mentioned earlier, this training today goes along with the one we did last week in terms of social proof. But the power of that is that you don't need to play their game. You can just do a great job, get those folks to sing your praises, and that's where this comes into play. So I think when we started this, we were at like 65 reviews. You can see we're 1,665. Again, this is not a business I'm currently an ownership, an owner of anymore. But I was, after I met with my dentist, I went right back to our office and I said, "Listen, we need to change this right away. We need to start generating referrals from the kind words that our clients say." And everything has changed since then. Number 2 here, in terms of what you need to do, or what you should know, is that you need to approach this from a systems mindset. Everything in your business is systems, right? Your Clients for Life program, which is, I think we roughly have 60 different touches there. Your social media marketing is a system. There's no guesswork. It's already built out. And you have to have a documented plan. It has to be documented, everything you're going to do on a regular basis, to sort of your Clients for Life program and your social media marketing. That really encompasses this referral marketing upgrade that I'm talking about. And if you don't have your whatever 90, well, this was 129 touches or social media touch points and 60 or so Clients for Life, you're not in the game. As a Real Estate B School member, you get all of this. It's all swipeable and deployable, and all of the checklists to build this out, and all the guides that come with it. But I just want to sort of pique your interest here to let you know, if you're not doing this or looking at your business this way, you're going to struggle in the future. You cannot scale your business playing their game. Or if you're struggling to scale and it's not a question of buying leads, um, then definitely you need to double down on this. So the third point here is legendary service. And you guys will hear me talk a lot about this. And this wasn't how I necessarily built my business, but it is the only way to stay relevant as a local real estate advisor slash expert. It's legendary service. The story here is this was back in 2019. BNA, I think that was the flight. Actually, let me show this one first. So we were, it was Charlotte to BNA. So I think BNA, I think we're actually going back there. I think it's St. Lucia. We're going there next week, or a week and a half from now, which is pretty cool. But Jordan, our flight attendant, wrote us a handwritten note. Thank you for flying with us. You guys are great, for our business. You're Advantage members, right? And I was like, that's pretty cool. I open up my emails. I'm walking out the plane and I got this email, essentially, how was your trip? Begin the survey. And it was a NPS, net promoter score question. This is the question. You just took this flight. Based on this trip, how likely are you to recommend American Airlines to a friend, colleague? 10 is like super likely and 0 is never, not in a million years. And I gave him a 10. And so that was a system that allowed that to happen. So in our world, you need to have a promise, right? In the sales process, a scripted promise where you're meeting for the first time with buyer or seller, you're making a promise, you're getting them to commit to do their part. When we deliver on our promise, will you make sure you bring referrals into our world? So again, referral marketing upgrade, that's the focus of this training. It has to be systemized. It has to be deliberate and intentional. And it starts with this promise. All right, so let's talk about, I think I've got 3 or 4 steps in terms of how we get there. If you haven't read Atomic Habits yet, or if this is your first training and for some reason your first time hearing this quote, I can't imagine if you've been on one of these trainings before, but you do not rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your system. So we have to rethink our funnel, and this is the game we're playing. Again, I'm going to go back to this because this is the business. You want to screenshot this if you're struggling in your business. We generate some leads, we make contacts, we set appointments, we meet with those appointments, we sign them to be clients, we deliver our services, and we get them to the closing table. Most real estate agents focus on the 4 to 5. They think showing homes and inspections and, MLS remarks for listings and photos and brochures, they think that's the game of real estate. It's not the game of real estate, right? The game of real estate is doing all of this in a way systematically where we do it so well that referrals are the byproduct. The referral marketing upgrade here is doing the whole process so well that every client brings in 2 to 3 more clients, and your business scales based solely on who knows you and who you're working with. The second point here, are you really different than your competition? Do you stand out at all from your competition? Consider, I don't know if you have a Topgolf in your market, but we do. And I would not want to be, I think there's like Leatherman is a driving range that is so dingy, so not even in the game as far as like attracting. This Topgolf is like next level. You can drink and eat and play games with each other, and just a different experience. So other gyms versus, we have Lifetime Fitness. It's the Taj Mahal of workout facilities. Has a cafe, it has like all of this stuff, pools and pickleball courts. I just started playing pickleball, which is pretty fun. But again, it's in a league of its own. So you need to ask yourself, how are you comparing and stacking up against other agents? That gives you the ability to upgrade your referral marketing. If you are actually different, if you portray yourself differently, if you interact with your clients and prospects differently. The last part here, and this is all about online positioning. Again, upgrading your referral marketing efforts, and just have fun with this. I do a monthly, not anymore. I used to do, one of the few things I did in my real estate team was a monthly market update. If you don't have KCM, Keeping Current Matters, it's a very inexpensive, massively powerful resource. And it allowed me to put this slide deck together, just do a Facebook Live. We sent it out in our email newsletter. A must if you're going to be successful in real estate. Not that 838 views is a lot of views, but it's 838 people. Like, that is a ton of people that are getting updated about the real estate market, and me being the expert that's giving them that. Leverage local business interviews. Yes, this is me in a cryotherapy tank. I just interviewed the business, and I got in the tank and took some pictures, and it was pretty cool. Clean Juice, awesome Christian-owned company. Same thing, just interviewed them. Sharing information on your listings. You don't want to overkill this, because you don't want to be known just for listings, right? You want to sprinkle these in. Happy clients, this is where the magic happens. Their words, picture with them, make a big deal about it. Client contests, we have a lot of fun with that. Any team member news and those sorts of things, any client reviews for sure. Holidays, those sorts of things. Educational content. There you can see the market update. You can see Simplifying the Market down there. That's the blog you get with Keeping Current Matters, which is awesome. And then any vendor resources. I'm going to tell a quick story about Kirby and Christina. You may have heard of these guys before. 2 years ago, they did 777 transactions for 7.7 million of GCI. I think they did a little bit less in 2022. But more than half of their business is from referral marketing. And they do all of the things that I just went through. A very simple but predictable, systematic Clients for Life program, and a very predictable, systems-driven, online, social, content marketing type approach to their business. I remember she was speaking on stage at one of our events, and she was going to sell 150 homes that year, and she was going to have a baby, and she already had a little baby. So just an awesome couple, but they focused on their referral marketing, their database, as if it were a 7-figure pillar. And it wasn't at the time, but it turned into one. So are you focusing on your database marketing efforts in that way? If you haven't grabbed a copy, please grab a copy of the database marketing workbook. Just drop the comment database upgrade to get a free copy. Here's the thing. There's no hard sell. My goal is to serve you at a very high level. If you want to have a conversation about where you are in your business, what's possible and what's holding you back, and if there's a conversation to be had about Real Estate B-School, specifically our Business Foundations case study program, go to revsgrowthassessment.com to see if you qualify to even be in our world. And then consider becoming our next case study. Go to Rev's case study program for information on that. To find out more about, what you need to put in place to be able to scale your business without giving your life away. It is unbelievable. Revamp this entire program, daily accountability. You get me 60 minutes a week. You get one of our high-level business coaches for 60 minutes a week. You get a production mastermind, quarterly business planning workshops, annual planning workshops, 2 digital summits, every tool I've ever created for an investment that I guarantee at least a 10x return in 6 months, or I'll double your money back, and I'll pay for you and your spouse to go out to dinner if you don't get the results that you're looking for. So we'll see you on the next training. Much love, much respect. Talk soon.